Okay, boys and girls, we're going to do math message. Math message. And this one is going to be 4.5. Okay, and if you're working on the home links, it's going to be on page 107, and our math boxes are on page 113. Okay, we're going to start out with our warm-up. Okay, how many sides are there altogether on 4 triangles? If I look at a triangle and I look at the sides, I have 1, 2, 3 sides. So how can I figure out how many sides there are on 4 triangles? 4 groups, each one has 3. Okay, I could do an equation like that, or I could count each side and figure out, and the answer should be 12. There should be 12 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, on my next one, how many sides are there altogether on a pentagon? Penta, that means 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides on a pentagon. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pentagons. Okay, so I could do 4 times the 5 sides, and we could skip count 5 5s and come up with 20 sides. Okay, on our next one, how many sides are there altogether on an octagon? Excuse me, octagon, it has 8 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octa, meaning 8. Okay, here's 1, 2, 3 of them. So we have 3 octagons and 8 sides each, which would be an equation of 3 times 8, and 3 times 8 equals 24 sides. All right, good job. So for our math message for lesson 4.5, we're going to be talking about special quadrilaterals. And remember that quad at the beginning means 4. All right, so on this one, all we're going to do is we're going to sketch at least 3 different quadrilaterals on the dots below. Okay, boys and girls, you can do anything you want just so there are 4 sides, because remember, a quadrilateral has 4 sides. This would be a quadrilateral. I could do something like this. That would be a quadrilateral. Right? I can do, that would be a quadrilateral. Any way that you can connect it so that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Each one of these are your quadrilateral, because once again, quad means 4. All right, and if you were to turn to your student reference book on page 217, tells you right down here in the corner, page 217, it will give you some examples and definitions of your quadrilaterals that we have here. We've got a trapezoid, and if you look at your trapezoid here, we have, it's a quadrilateral with at least 1 pair of parallel sides. And remember, parallel sides are meaning when the sides are opposite of each other and they never cross. Our next one is a kite. Okay, and kite is a quadrilateral whose 4 sides are in 2 pairs of equal lengths. Okay, so at least 2 pairs have to be equal lengths. A parallelogram, right here, are quadrilaterals that have 2 pairs of parallel sides. Once again, parallel sides meaning that 2 opposite sides that never meet. Right, and we have our rectangle. This is just a parallelogram with 4 right angles. These are my angles here. And you'll see that when you're looking in the book. And a rhombus is a parallelogram with four sides that have the same length. And then last is a square. And a square is a parallelogram with four, right angles. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4 right angles. And you can always use page 217 as a reference. All right, here are some example of some more quadrilaterals. And remember, all you need to remember here is quad means 4. So when they want you to draw a quadrilateral, you just have to draw a shape that has 4 sides. Okay, now let's look at the attributes. Okay, if I were going to describe that, what attributes does this square and this rhombus have in common? So here's my square. Okay, and here is my rhombus. And what do they have in common? I'll give you a few minutes to look at those and think about what they have in common. You look, they all have 4 sides that are the same length. This one, the rhombus is just slanted a little bit. Okay, how are they different? All square, the square has 4 right angles, but the rhombus does not have any right angles. And remember, our right angle is straight up and straight across. So we got 4 of them here. And if you notice down here, you've got smaller than a right angle, larger than a right angle, smaller, and then larger than a right angle. Okay? What attributes does this square and rectangle have in common? Well, that should be pretty obvious here. We just talked about right angles. So we know they both have 4 right angles. We look right here. Okay, they have this 4 right angles, or both have 4 square corners. And how they're different is all 4 sides of a square are the same length, and that we know that the adjacent sides of a rectangle are not the same length. Okay, so these 2 would be the same length, and these 2 would be the same length. Okay, but this one here is not the same as this side here. Okay. What attributes does the trapezoid and parallelogram have in common? Take a few minutes and think about that. Okay, if you want to hit pause, go right ahead. Otherwise, let's just look and see. They both have at least one set of parallel sides. Okay, if you look at my trapezoid, this would be one set of parallel sides here. Okay, and if you look at, they have at least one set down here. How are they different? A parallelogram has 2 sets of parallel sides. We looked at the one set. Here would be your second set. And the trapezoid only has 1, because if I were to take these and move these lines up and continue them, they would eventually cross. And if they cross, they are not parallel. What attributes does this kite and parallelogram have in common? Once again, if you want to pause the video for a few minutes and then think about it. When you're ready, come back. Okay, they both have 2 pairs of sides that are the same. Okay, and how they're different is the opposite sides of a parallelogram must be parallel, but the opposite sides of kites do not have to be parallel. Okay, these would be your opposite sides of a kite, and as you can tell, they are not parallel. Same here, not parallel. All right, so when we look at a polygon here, okay, polygon, remember, is any flat object, okay, that has lines that, that connect. So quadrilateral, when we think of a quadrilateral, we want to think of 2 parallel lines. Okay, when we think of a quadrilateral that has two pairs of parallel lines, and then over here they have no parallel sides. Okay. Okay, on journal page 112. So I'm going to have you get out your journals right now and turn to page 112. And on number 1, it wants you to sketch two quadrilaterals below. Okay, record the type of quadrilateral on the line. So you can draw anything you want for a quadrilateral. Remember, a quadrilateral only has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could use a square. Okay. You could also use, not real good at drawing here. Okay, that didn't work out very good for me, so let's try that again. Let's just use a rectangle. And you could use any quadrilateral that you can make that has 4 sides. Sketch a quadrilateral that is neither a rhombus nor a rectangle. Okay, it's neither a rhombus nor a rectangle. Okay, and on this one here, if you think about it, and we do not want a rhombus or a rectangle. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. You can hit pause if you would like. And then come back when you're ready. So we want to do a quadrilateral that's neither a rhombus or a rectangle. Okay. Well, we could draw a square. A square is not a rectangle, but a rectangle is a square. We could draw a parallelogram that has 4 sides. So any of those would be fine. Sketch a quadrilateral that's neither a kite nor a parallelogram. Okay, neither a kite nor a parallelogram. So you could do a trapezoid. Those dots help me out so I can draw correctly. So you could draw a trapezoid. And this time you're going to sketch a quadrilateral that does not fit any of the quadrilateral, it doesn't fit any of the quadrilateral subcategories. So it doesn't fit any. So go ahead. So for this one, you could have drawn any non-trapezoid or non-kite quadrilateral. Okay, and that will conclude our lesson for lesson 4.5.